Welcome to this edition of the fours. Although I'm not going to be talking about the fours or the fours or the floors. I'm going to be talking about those cranky hips. Are you cranky? You might be cranky. You could be cranky because you're hungry. You could be cranky because your hips hurt. You have some tightness in the pelvic region. You have tightness in the hips. You compensate when you stand. You compensate when you walk. You compensate when you sit. And I'm here to demonstrate a quick, simple routine that you can do in 2 minutes and that you can try to re-energize those hips. I'm your host, Jesse Swear, nationally recognized inclusive fitness trainer, silver sneaker flex instructor, and you can find out more about me. Visit my website, www.jesseswear.com. Now, before we get into the hips, remember we do have that virtual liability. You should always consult your physician before engaging in any physical activity program. By participating in this online exercise with me, you assume all dangerous, hazardous risks of such participation. Now, because this is only a 2-minute hip routine for those cranky hips, let's get you out of that cranky mood. So in order to do that, let me go through the anatomy of the hips really quickly. So when we're talking about the hips, we're talking about the hip adductors. And what they do is they allow you to not only stand in this position, but allow you to move side to side. And you utilize them every time you walk, every time you move forward, every time you stand, and they anchor on the pelvic region and they anchor in the hip region as well. Again, they allow you to have greater mobility, and if you have tight hips, then you're going to have tightness in the lower back. You might have tightness in the neck because of where it's anchored, and that IT band will get impacted as well. So if you're sitting, typically you're sitting and your hips are forward, they're contracted, so the back is pulled a little bit more if you think about how you sit. If you're walking, you get in that forward movement, and then your hips get contracted as well, and they place stress on that lower back. And if you're just standing, just like I am right now, I have tight hips, I can feel the tension in my hip and my lower back. So what do we want to do? We want to create greater mobility in the hips and the pelvic region. And how do you do that? You work those hip abductors, and those are on the outside of the hip, and they typically allow you to move in that direction. So how are we going to do it? Well, this is how we're going to do it. So I'm just going to take a nice, I guess, wide base, so my feet are going to be a little wider than my shoulders. And then I'm going to just kind of shift my weight to the right and shift my weight to the left. I'm moving those hips for an 8 count. 3, 4, 5, 6, almost like I'm skating. 7, and then when I get to 8, I'm going to turn to my right. I'm going to turn my feet. I'm going to take my hands up. I'm going to tighten my abs, and I'm going to pull my hands back on a slight bend, and I'm going to stretch out this part, and I'm going to be reaching back. Stretching those hips out, stretching that lower back out, and then I'm going to just repeat. To the left, to the right, 3, 4, 5, 6, shift that weight, 7, 8, to the right, turn those feet, and lift those hands up. Nice and high, nice and tall. Slight reach back. And then again. 1, 2, 3. Shifting the weight. 4. Loosen up those hips. 5. Get rid of some of that tension. 6, 7, 8. And turn and lift. And drop them back down. 1 and 2 and 3, move those hips forward. They should be feeling better right about now. 5, 6, 7, 8, and nice turn, and lift, and again. You can do this as much as you want, as many times as you want, but I suggest You move back and forth about 8 times, and then you turn, lift those hands up, tighten that core, and work on releasing some of that cranky hip syndrome. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you come back for more. Peace, my friends.